Reason to hurry. I don't know where you're running to. You know you don't need to worry. The world is turning to come to you. There's no reason to hurry. Don't need to worry. The world is turning to come to you. We try to find that perfect line before it's out of sight. It's chasing lights, the fireflies that flicker through the night. You say you've got to reach the top, and so you play the game. You make the rules, you win and lose, and then it's all the same. There's no reason to hurry. And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Namaste. Aaiye, kaise ho? How are you all doing? I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everybody's got a good weekend behind them. I hope all of you are all right. Standing still, I just listened to it before coming here. It just felt so nice. Thank you, Ekta. Back here after a long time. Good to be back to my favorite YouTuber. Thank you so much. Aryan Kohli, welcome. Broken Tooth. Prakar Verma, welcome. Rahul Sharma. Waldy is back. Waldy, hello. Welcome back to the streams. Vibor Garg. Hi, welcome, Vibor. How are you all doing? Quickly tell me if everybody is doing okay, if I'm audible, visible, if everything is all right. AW, welcome. N God up sharing. Play like daddy. Please don't make the stream private suddenly. Right now I'm busy with something else. I'll watch this later. I have no plans of making this private. Play like daddy. I am going to keep this public. Don't worry about that. Learner stopped doing quite good. Little messed up though. I'm sorry to hear that, Learner. Curiosity, Monday aa raha hai. Dude, Monday aa raha hai. So I wasn't planning to stream today, by the way. I was planning to just chill out. I was planning to just play some games. But a couple of things happened and I thought I wanted to talk to you guys about mental health. So we'll get into that. We'll get into that slowly. But let's just calm down for a bit. Let's just catch up a little. I today watched how therapy work stream. Loved it. Helped me a lot. Feeling hopeful now. Thanks to you. I'm so glad, Ekta. I'm so glad that it helped you. Dark Lord, missed you in the couple of streams. Yes. Wait, what did Voldy say? I got home yesterday. Missed your streams. Voldy, welcome back. Kaha gaya tha? Where have you been traveling during these lockdown times? Pragya, I really enjoy your streams. They're so chill and relaxing in these uncertain times. Thank you, Pragya. I'm glad that you could join in. It's kind of therapy for me too, you know, just to come here and chill out, chat, even play games. But that's one of the things that I'm going to talk about today, about how games are going to work in our mental health. One podcast with Shwetab sir. I think that's on the list. It's definitely going to happen at some point. I will have Shwetab on for a podcast. I had recently gone on Rusty's podcast. So that was a super fun conversation. Learner Stop, welcome. Akshita, hi Sid, how was your weekend? Akshita, my weekend was very good. Just chilled out. Had kept one weekend off just for, relaxing, and I'm very glad I did that. Not doing good. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Pragya. We'll talk about it. Taking spiritual therapy. Excellent. Went to Hamta Pass, Chandratal Lake, but rain messed it up. Oh, damn. We are, everybody's on the edge to travel. I've been getting dreams of traveling. I have been wanting to go. So since 2020 January, I have been postponing a trip to Europe, and now I've given up. Like now I have no plans. And until I think 4 months ago, I still thought ki ja sakunga, but now I'm like, I have no plans. I have no hope of traveling. Isha Kale, can we talk about mental health affecting children too? We definitely can, Isha. It's a very, very important topic. I will, of course, be putting a disclaimer that I'm not a child psychiatrist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I am a neurologist. But we will talk about mental health from whatever perspective that I have gained till now. And of course, we do have psychiatrists on the stream quite often. We do talk about mental health with psychiatrists as well. But we will discuss whatever topics that come up during this conversation, and we'll see where it goes. Right? We'll see where the conversation take us. Have been postponing a trip to Dwarka. It's not even my list on. I've been planning a trip. It was always locked down when I confirm it. Absolutely. Bhavna Dikshit, welcome. How to overcome overthinking. Hmm. Loving these lives. Abhay, thank you so much. Abhay Ranga. Is it possible to develop ADHD in later years? Yes, it is. Mm, although it is more common in children, but it does, you can see it in adults as well. Aryan Kohli, welcome. How was your day? It was waterlogged in your area today. Yes, there was a lot of waterlogging in Bombay, in a lot of areas. Please call Shwetab. Back to basics are really helpful. This is the one we needed the most. So, mm, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I wanted to talk about mental health. Mm, what I realized is that all of us are going through this cycle of wanting to do something, believing that you can do it, trying to do it, something coming up, something coming in the way, and you realizing that, oh, maybe you can't do it, and then giving up for a while, and then again deciding that I want to do something. This loop of dreaming, planning, attempted execution, failure, giving up, dreaming, planning, this loop is going on in the background for a lot of us. It definitely happens for me. And I wanted to say this. I wanted to say this out loud because sometimes when you see people on screen, you might think that they are leading a very different life. You might think that they're leading a very, very productive life, or a life that, that they just seem to get everything done. It all seems very flawless when you see it on screen. And that can be disheartening, weirdly enough. And especially if somebody's talking about productivity, if somebody's talking about positive thinking, it can even have a negative backlash, because that's what you call toxic positivity. When somebody is just going on saying, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Sometimes you can't, we are not robots. So I just wanted to come here and say that everybody is struggling. It's not just you, it's not just me, it's everybody. Everybody is going through their own struggle, and how you publicize that struggle is up to you. How much you publicize is up to you. What story you spin around it is up to you. But the struggle is real for all of us. So never ever think that it's only you, because I realize that sometimes you can think like that. I have gone down that road thinking that, oh man, this probably only happening to me, but then it's not like that. Everybody is going through that. So one thing that has started affecting me a little bit is the idea of consistency in some respects and inconsistency for some things. Like I've been actually struggling with this idea, because you tend to try and identify yourself under one definition. You say that I am a disciplined person or I'm a lazy person, but that is an oversimplification. Human beings are not like that. You cannot box yourself up into one definition and say that I am this. Usually what will happen is that you will find yourself being very good at some things and very bad at some things. And because we don't have the capacity to differentiate, because we don't have the capacity to see the gray areas, we are always confused. We are always conflicted. Ki, am I a disciplined person or am I a lazy person? We have to broaden our own definitions for ourselves. All right. Uh, I'm going to see what you guys are saying now, and then we'll continue the conversation. Uh, all right. I have a lot of punchlines for the setup, but I respect Sid for being honest, so I will support him. Waldi, thank you so much. Aryan Kohli, I know Sid is just like us. Akshita, my exams have just started, so I'm drawing and painting to help maintain my mental health. Akshita, that is super cool. And since I've started practicing my hobbies, it has helped me a lot to stay positive. That is really awesome, Akshita. I'm so glad that you have found that way of channelizing your anxiety. Learner Stop have planned to start something new. Not sure if I will be successful or not. I'm sacrificing a bit of my studies for it. I'm always in anxiety. What if I'm not successful? Uh, so, what if you're not successful is a thought that is plaguing everyone. If you had a guarantee that you will be successful, then it's not really an attempt. It's not really a risk. It's just like you won't even think about it. You probably do 100 things every day where you are 100% sure that you will be successful. For example, when you wake up and you go to brush, you don't think whether will you be able to brush. That thought doesn't cross your head because there is 100% probability that you will brush, right? Unless something very, very catastrophic happens. So that thought never crosses your mind. But if you are thinking, will I be successful? That means that it is a new thing. It is something that you haven't done before or you haven't done enough number of times. If you've done it enough number of times, that thought will not cross your mind. You will be successful because you've done it so many times. It's as simple as that. The first time, so every guy would know that the first time you shave, for example, you are quite nervous because you've never held a blade before and you've never shaved before. But then the 100th time, you don't even think about it. It comes very naturally. There's no question mark in your head that will you be able to shave. Of course, similarly for every single thing in your life. So if that thought is coming to your mind that will I be successful, it just means that you haven't gone through that process enough number of times, which is great, right? Because do you want to continue only doing the things wherein you are 100% sure you will be successful? That means that you are stuck in a loop, right? How else will you learn? So I think that bit of uncertainty, we should probably change the way we look at that uncertainty, because that uncertainty is a marker that you are now doing something new. If you go through a day without feeling uncertainty even once, that would probably mean that you haven't grown that day. And that is not a day you should look forward to. You should have days where you are uncertain about at least one thing, which is a sign that you are growing. Nishta Sharma, hello Siddharth. I have almost all the symptoms of ADHD and depression. I'm in my late 20s. I'm failing miserably in life. How to get ahead with diagnosis? Nishta, I'm very sorry to hear that, but you do need to take help. You should approach a counselor. You should have a talk with a therapist and figure out exactly what is going on, right? I hope that you do that, and I hope that that would help you. Akshar Desai, welcome. AV, I was very sad a few months back, but now I feel lighter and kind of normal. Although things have changed, not that much, but considerably. How can I avoid getting into that loop? So one thing that I find helps is to learn from your experiences. So every time you do something, if you are able to take in whatever information there is, then the chances are that you will, it's it's like it's like reading a chapter from your textbook and making notes versus not making notes. So if you just read it and you move on, 1 year later, when you come back, you will have to read the whole chapter almost entirely again, almost like starting from scratch. You will find, and tell me how many of you have experienced this. You will you will go to an exam, you will find a question, and you will think that you've never read this question before or you've never read this topic before. You come back home, you open your textbook, and you find that the chapter is underlined. you find that you have actually scribbled stuff on the side and you have no memory of reading that chapter. It has happened to me 3 4 times, and it is super super annoying. It is like, what was the point? That time that I gave to reading that chapter, it was useless because I have no memory of it, which is why time is memory. If you have no memory of it, it didn't happen. There is no proof that it happened, right? So that is why you should make notes. That is why you should help your memory, because memory is time and time is memory. Similarly, for life experiences, I believe that if something happens to you and you learn from it, you learn the maximum that you can from it, then that thing actually happened. Whereas if you don't learn from it, it's as good as that thing never happening. So then the next time you do it, it's like going through it for the first time. And that is what you mean by loop. Because when you say loop, it means going around and round in a circle. You should never circle, right? At most, you should spiral upwards. You should spiral upwards. Sir, you're making me doubt if I'm deaf. Wow, can you increase the volume? Is everybody doubting if they are deaf, or is it only Bal and Vemu? Akshita, that's so true. Isliye I always keep my notes handy. I even kept my 7th class K science notes. Excellent. I do that. I've done that ever since my MBBS days. Because I've kind of developed a mild OCD trait that if it's not documented, it didn't happen. All good, sound is fine. Bal and Vemu, I'm extremely sorry to say that everybody else is hearing fine. So yeah, maybe just increase the volume on your headphones. Sound is good. Awesome. No sound is good. All right. Okay, cool. Raghav. I thought Sid is being serious, so the tone is lower than usual. I can hear you fine. All right. So, 1 second. I'm going to try something. Mm, let's see. Let's see if this works. Mm, I was trying out this new chat. Oh, okay. Awesome. Can you see the chat on the side of the screen? Clean headphones, bro. Trust me. What's consistency? Words on organic psychosis. Can someone get deep brain stimulation while suffering from it? So for psychosis, one of the treatment is electric stimulation, but of course that is after everything else. After cognitive behavioral therapy, after medical treatment, all of that. Okay, so you can see the chat on the top. Cool, but is it clear though? Because this is the first time I'm trying it out, and चलो ठीक है, we'll figure it out. चलो कुछ तो दिख रहा है, but I'm going to remove it. Colors aren't complementary, but your painting skills aren't good. All right, cool, 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 fine. Oh, so then you know what? Maybe if I do this, नहीं तो फिर तो कुछ भी नहीं दिखेगा. छोड़. Oh wait, actually दिखेगा. नहीं. Oh damn, हाँ, ऐसा तो दिख आया. ये तो दिख जाएगा. Please change the background. एक second, रुक रुक रुक. Let's try this. I can actually do this. Hello. Black background. Font is too small. It's not clear. All right. Let's see. Let us see. All right. This might be good. Okay, cool. No chat on the screen. Yeah, I'm just trying something out, but yeah. Enough of that. So that was me trying out something for my gaming streams later on, because I wanted the chat to come up on the gaming stream, but I thought I'll try it out. Dark mode OP. Oh, you like that, huh? Awesome. Yeah, Andhera Kayam Rahe. Does major depressive disorder affect your academic skills? It does. Yes. It looks good when the video screen is minimalistic. So wait, do you like, which one do you prefer? The black one or the black one or the one with the blackboard? Don't fix what's not broken. Are you streaming on Twitch too? Well, I did upload a Twitch channel. I put it up on the community. Oh, you like the black one? Blackboard, black one. All right. So, okay, excellent. Black background. Black background. Nista, Siddharth, could you advise me? I'm any counseling therapist for ADHD, specifically in NCR. Can I DM you for advice? Can I suggest that you look at therapize.india? They have an Instagram page, and you can also check out Kaha Mind, Kaha, also on Instagram. So check it out. You might find something good. I used to be so sure of everything and had my life all planned out quite literally, but now I'm not sure of my likes and dislikes, questioning everything. How do I tackle it? Sasha. So when you say you're sure of your likes and dislikes, what you're basically saying is that you're sure of your identity, because your identity is a combination of all the things that you like and all the things that you dislike, both consciously and subconsciously, right? So most of the things that you like and dislike are actually subconscious decisions, or so-called micro decisions, not macro decisions. So things that your brain, decisions that your brain takes even before you're consciously aware that your brain is taking them, if that makes sense. Okay. Now, when you are taking micro decisions, then sometimes you end up justifying the things that your brain has already decided. And so, as at any given one point, you can say that these are the things that I like and these are the things that I don't like. But the thing is that you are not supposed to stop there. At the age of 20, 25, 30, 45, 50, whatever age you are at, I don't think you should ever be in a position to say that this is it. This is my complete list of likes and dislikes, and I will never have to change this list ever again. Because life doesn't end there. You are always experiencing new and new things. So I believe that we should actually focus on learning how to modulate your own likes and dislikes and how to keep evolving as a person. That's just my personal belief. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this earlier one. Yeah. So that the chat popping up it's not really, I think it's a little distracting for a stream like this, but it'll look great for gaming. So I'm definitely going to do that. Sid, I'm out of touch with my emotions for a long time. Please tell me some tips. Mm, I don't think you can be out of touch with your emotions, because they are so intricately connected to you as a person. Who you are as a person is a mixture of all the things that you feel and all the things that you remember. So it is very much a part of you. So whatever you are feeling, those are your emotions. You can, it is all getting processed, all of it, right? The only thing is that we do have a lot of cognitive biases. Sometimes we have denial, sometimes we have suppression, we repress things. Now there are both healthy and unhealthy defense mechanisms that are in place. So you it would help if you are more aware of them. But to say that I'm not in touch with my emotions, I feel is oversimplifying it. What truly drives us to work in life? Is he saying alexithymia when he says he's disconnected with emotions? So alexithymia is a pathological condition. So it is when you have no emotions, right? So that is quite different. Do you believe in those ideas? Nothing is impossible. You can do anything. I believe in that idea that nothing is impossible. There is always conditions apply though. So it's impossible to fly, but then that's not really true. You can fly. It's just that there are always conditions applied. There is always it is always circumstantial. You I think that we spend a lot of time focusing just on ourselves and not on circumstances, as if believing that I can be perfect independent of my environment. But that is never true, ever. You have to be perfect in the environment that you are in. And if your environment changes, your definition of perfect changes. So, in a way, perfection is adaptability. How well can you adapt? How well can you thrive in the environment that you are in? Or how able are you to change the environment? So you cannot fly, but you can make a plane that can allow you to fly. Technically you are flying because you have changed the environment. So we we don't think of ourselves as part of the environment, but we are so corely related to the environment that we are in. It is not funny. Change your peer group to change your identity. Change the books that you read to change your identity. Change the environment that you are in to change your identity. It is one of the core pillars of your identity. Your identity is not just something in your head. Your identity is partly genetics, partly your own thoughts, and partly your environment. So, genetics you can't change, but your own thoughts you can change, and environment you can change. And so, if you are happy with who you are, then make sure that your environment stays the same and your core beliefs stay the same. If you are unhappy with who you are, change either or both of your core beliefs and your environment. That's it. The identity is a triangle. Identity is a trifecta between genetics, environment, and your own self. Mm, I'm currently on meds for depression, BPD. Your streams help a lot. Shubham, I'm glad that they help. I hope that you get better soon. Sid is INFJ, and this is coming from somebody who's studied MBTI for over 7 years. INFJ. I had taken the personality test almost a year ago, but to be very, very honest, I don't think I remember what I am. I don't remember the letters. I don't know how to. Although I did feel that um, there is some sense in it, of course, but there is also confirmation bias, because at some points I felt like I was reading about zodiac signs, because you can open any zodiac sign and read it, and if you open your mind enough, or if you believe in it enough, you can change the narrative to suit you. So yeah, what I can if you want, I can do it on stream. uh I got INFJ, but I don't believe it. Does risk taking generalizations too? Yeah. mm, Trying intentional thoughts to fight against negativity, but fail most of the times. Don't see other alternatives. I was suicidal, but you and other creators like Suhani Shah helped me cope with my thoughts. Again, Shubham, I'm glad that it helped you. I do hope that you are taking help professionally. Do not rely on YouTubers, do not rely on content creators to solve actual psychiatric or mental health problems. Do not do it. It is like taking uh, treatment from a YouTube channel or a radio channel for a heart attack. Okay, don't do it. Reach out to a professional, take personal help, uh, take professional help at a personal level, and yeah, hopefully this is I think all the things that we say on stream, I hope they just work as a guide, but not therapy. There is a difference, because therapy, the main difference I believe in helpful conversation on stream and therapy is that therapy, I believe, should help you personally, and this, I'm talking about things from a more generic perspective of how the brain works. And of course, it applies to you, to everybody who's listening, but I believe that therapy should be more specific. Therapy should be more targeted to something that a person is going through in his or her or their life. Is there any free of cost therapy in India? There is. There are NGOs that do that. MBTI has got nothing to do with astrology. Oh, of course. Oh, I'm sorry if that is not what I meant at all. What I meant was that if you take a personality test and you're reading the results, if when you are reading them, I believe that your own confirmation bias helps you believe it more. And that aspect of it reminded me of when I'm reading zodiac signs. That's what I meant. I have my therapist and I'm under check of my psychiatrist. Very good, Shubham. I'm so glad to hear that. I don't know how to state my problem: procrastination, fear, sadness, anxiety. So I don't know how many of you heard or saw my lectures on anxiety and fear, but since this topic is on mental health, I want to take out 10 minutes to explain to you one of the core concepts of mental health. All right. And I want you all to just sit back. All right. Just relax your body, first of all. And this is going to take 5 minutes, not more than that. And I want you to understand what I'm trying to say. We are evolving animals. All the things that we say and do and think is coming because our brain has evolved over millions of years to deal with our environment. And the main function of the brain in dealing with our environment is to detect threat. Our brain is always looking in our environment to see what is going to threaten you. That is the most important thing. At every second of your day, a part of your brain is constantly looking for what is threatening you. This aspect of your existence is never ending. It is always there. From the moment you are born to the moment you die, you are always looking for threats. This is the fear response. This is the root of the fear response. Every second of every day, you have a possibility of fear. Because every time something threatens you, your fear response gets activated. Now, the way the fear response works is that initially there is excitement, there is attention, and then as the fear goes on and on and on, there is anxiety and there is panic. And this whole thing is a huge network in the brain. One of the most important areas involved in this is the amygdala within the limbic system. Now, fear is extremely important. You need fear to survive. You want to have fear in order to navigate your circumstances, navigate the environment. Without fear, those first two things will not be there, which is excitement and attention. In other words, a better way to say it is arousal and attention. Okay. Now I'm going to draw this and show you. When there is fear, initially there is arousal, which means you will wake up. So waking up itself has an element of amygdala activation. Then as something is threatening you more, you have increased attention. As something is threatening you more, you can have anxiety and panic. We want to keep the fear response till here. Now, the difference between attention arousal and anxiety and panic is that when you are threatened by something, you are able to see it, you are able to perceive it. Okay, think of it like opening the door to your room and seeing a black widow spider in the middle of your room or a cobra in the middle of your room. You will immediately notice how your entire attention is now focused only on that cobra. Till you are opening the door, your attention is all over the place, but now your attention is only on that cobra. That is what fear does. Fear focuses your attention on one thing. So you can see how this can be useful in some situations. But what anxiety does, and we are mainly talking of anxiety here because I think this is one of the underappreciated pandemics that is going on. Anxiety is a pandemic in the 21st century. I think so many people are going through anxiety and not understanding what it is. Anxiety is having a constant state of background fear. This is anxiety. When you are faced with a danger, you have fear response. But when you are not faced with a danger, but there is a constant sense of fear going on in the background that something is going to happen, something is going to happen. There is a cobra here somewhere. You can't see the cobra. That's the worst thing. You can't see where it is, but that constant feeling is there. That is what anxiety is. And it is very unfortunate because what happens is fear, this constant state of fear is not supposed to be a normal phenomenon. We are supposed to have spikes of fear and then it should come down. But if there is chronic anxiety, your body starts to change. Your body starts to react differently because chronic anxiety will lead to increased stress, and then increased stress will lead to increased inflammatory markers, and increased inflammatory markers leads to actual biological changes. And this is one of the reasons why you can have anxiety turning into depression and a lot of other things. So this is what anxiety is, and it can get triggered by any number of things. Just a lot of things that are going outside of your control is enough to trigger a chronic anxiety response. So I wanted to just remind you all that this is what we are talking about. This is what we mean when we say anxiety. Panic is different. Panic is a super heightened state of fear. So it is in the same fear spectrum, but instead of fear getting controlled, fear gets out of control. So it is uncontrolled amygdala activation. So everything that you feel in that one moment of seeing the cobra, you are feeling constantly. Your heart is racing, your mouth has become dry, your hands and feet have become cold, you are unable to run, you're unable to turn, you're unable to focus on anything else. So that is panic attacks. So again, very unfortunate situation coming from uncontrolled amygdala activation. Nishant, why aren't we discussing mental health every day? Well, it's not an easy topic to discuss every day, I think. And also, I think it's not something to be discussed every day. I think mental health is supposed to be something that is practiced every day. You have to do a cleanse. You have to do a mental cleanse and just reorient things before you go to sleep, or reorient things as they build up. I wanted to talk to you about how important it is to have your body healthy, because the body and the mind are not really, completely different entities. The body and the mind are not different entities. They are so intricately connected that if one goes down, it'll take the other with it. And a lot of times we don't really know why you are feeling low, but it is because your body is not healthy. So it is extremely important to take care of your body in order to take care of your mind, and vice versa. So you need a healthy mind to have a healthy body. But in today's world, with our recent sleep habits and our recent eating habits, it is really getting difficult to keep your body healthy. It is so ironic that it is almost as if society is conspiring to keep us unhealthy. And I'm really wondering, why is that? How did we really get to this point where it is not easy to be healthy? It is an effort to be healthy, which is so counterproductive, because society should be, instead it should be doing everything it can to keep us healthy, but it's not. And the I think Nishant said it absolutely right. I think the answer is that. I think the answer is capitalism. Because think about it. Think about what society pressurizes you to do. All right. And think of your entire day and think of what all are you doing that you're doing because society is pressuring you to do. So you're waking up and you're going to work. Suppose you don't go to work, there is a punishment, right? You will lose your job, you won't get any money, you might lose your house, all of those things will happen if you don't work. Or if you're a student, you have to go to school because you have to learn things to be productive so that you can work and you can earn money. That is the front and foremost pressure on all of us. सब लोग के मन में वही है कि काम कैसे करें, पढ़ाई कैसे करें, पैसा कैसा कमाएं. That is it. That is all that society pressurizes you to do. Now suppose you don't eat healthy. Do you think there is any pressure? कुछ नहीं. Nothing. No pressure anymore. You cannot tell anybody that they should lose weight. You cannot tell anybody that they should look a certain way, because obviously not all of that is so mixed up now with health. So there is no pressure basically. Is there any pressure on you to be mentally healthy? Suppose you say that I haven't meditated today. Nobody is going to judge you. But if you say, I didn't go to work today, like, oh, why didn't you go to work? Nobody will ask you, why didn't you meditate? Suppose you say that I didn't take out time to write a poem. I didn't take out time for my guitar. I didn't take out time to go for a run. I didn't take out time to do something that I love. Nobody will judge you. There is no pressure on us to do anything except study and work. Everything else is like, तुझे जो करना है कर, नहीं किया तो नहीं किया, ठीक है, मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. So this form of thinking is this form of thinking, I can understand it from a society perspective, because society is like a company and everybody is judged on their productivity. Like, what can you give to society? That's it. That's all that society cares. But the weird thing is that society is made up of people, and each individual person is suffering because of the collective. And this is something that I've been recently thinking about, that what can we do? What can we do to make ourselves healthier as individuals, and even as a small community? What can we do to become healthier? And I started thinking of this, and then I realized that the concept of health is not very well understood. It is too simplistic. So here is the gist of what I mean when I say healthy. If you have to be healthy, I think you have to focus on 6 things, right? You have to focus on 6 things in order to be healthy. You have to focus on your physical health. You have to focus on your mental health. You have to focus on your financial health. You have to focus on your spiritual health. You have to focus on your social health. And so this is health, wealth, money, uh, finally personal. So this is the your personal growth. So the whole idea, hold on. The whole idea of this is that I'm going to tell you what each one of this is. When I say physical health, I think if you make each one of these 6 things a habit, so every day you will do one thing in each one of these things, then gradually you will find yourself getting more and more and more healthy. So if you talk about physical health, if you take out whatever amount of time every day to your physical health, if you go for a run, if you go to the gym, if you do yoga, whatever. Second is, if you look at your financial health, and when I say financial health, I mean basically your, well, your money, right? We have to give importance to money. We cannot say that it is not important, because there is a kind of a overreaction saying that, oh, it's not all about money. Of course it's not all about money, but it is something about money, so you do need to keep that in focus as well. Personal health and mental health sound kind of similar, but what I mean by the two is, mm, when I say when I say mental health, or rather when I say personal health, I mean your career and your academics, right? So your personal growth, rather. Let's look at it that way. Your personal growth. So if you're a student, then academics, and later on that academics turns into career. So this is one aspect of it. Your social health is everything about your family and friends. And your spiritual health is your understanding of where you are in the universe and your relationship with the universe. You can call it anything you want. You can um, make this into anything that you want, whether it is religion, whether it is any philosophy that you follow. But it is important that you have this on the list, right? So this is uh, this is sort of what I this is sort of what I mean by healthy. That you I'm taking notes now. Okay. Yeah, this is sort of what I mean by healthy. I think we do need to focus on these things, each one of them, and gradually things will fall into place. I don't think any of these things is going to click overnight, but if you look at the disproportionate amount of time we give to personal health, rather, like career and academics, and how little time we give to spiritual and mental, it's crazy. It is so disproportionate. So if you've seen if you've seen that diagram of say, after you've played a game of Counter Strike, for example, and the game shows you how good of a marksman you are, and it shows you your you're shooting graph, for example. So if these are six factors that take into consideration your overall performance, then our entire focus is only on career, money, and maybe something in social, and we hardly think about physical, mental, and spiritual. So at any given point in time, I think that if any of these are missing, then it is going to show up. We are going to feel its absence sooner or later. And it works both ways, by the way. If you only focus on physical and mental and you pay no attention to career, money, or social, I think uska bhi farak padta hai. But this is sort of what I think is a balanced life, if you are paying attention to all these six pillars of life. All right. I think बहुत हो गया. My random thoughts. Let's take some questions. What's up, man? How are all of you doing? Did it all make sense? Was I going too fast or going too much into my own zone? Totally agree. It is planning showing. I've taken a personality test. It is stated that I have 92% narcissism, 77% Machiavellism. Can you explain somatization disorder briefly? So, somatization is basically when the brain creates physical symptoms without there being an organic physical cause. So, if I hit your arm and your arm hurts, that is organic arm pain. But if you are feeling very sad, for example, and your arm hurts as a result of that pain, then that is somatization, because your brain has translated something that is happening in the brain and translated it into a physical complaint. And that can happen in many, many different ways. You can have stomach complaints, you can have loose motions, you can have vomiting, you can have body ache, backache, neck pain, headache, everything. Somatization has a big list of problems. In the long term, you'll find people who are fine with specific minimum relationships. Take the dark triad test. It'll be very interesting to see your results. Can you explain moral relativism? I'm feeling a bit low today, feeling the social pressure. The must are in Kohli. Thank you for YouTubing. Thank you, Bhavna. Cultural identity regulates serotonin level. Oh, absolutely. Carl Sagan, yes. Cultural identity does regulate serotonin level because it determines what you value and what is important to you and what is not. So that is part of serotonin's job. Where can I take the personality test? I think there's a website. Um, I think MBTI का एक website है. It's free to take. How to fight overthinking. Oh, there is something that I. Okay, hang on. Can you share on how to improve mental health pillar? So I think I will be doing a stream on these six pillars of mental health. These six pillars of health, rather. Right? So if you had to go over it one more time, six pillars of health. So money, physical, personal, social, uh, spiritual, and academic or career. All right, don't take the test on 116 personalities because that's actually Ocean and not MBTI. Oh, that's an important difference. Correct. How to apply placebo effect in daily life? You are applying placebo in daily life all the time. Every time you tell yourself that it'll be all right, it's actually a placebo. Sort of, yeah. Can you explain more about the process of integration and disintegration in existential depression? Uh, I haven't read about disintegration a lot because from what I remember in depression, because of your prefrontal cortex not functioning as well, you have problems with putting things together, and you have problems with facing new situations because you are unable to take in new information and put it together with existing information as well as you would have otherwise. So I think that is what the integration problem is, but I haven't read about disintegration. Every time you tell yourself it's already placebo. How to apply placebo effect if you want to achieve something that someone else does not have? We can do mental health breakdown of movie characters like Thanos and Loki. Oh, that's a brilliant idea. Why not? Why not? Absolutely. So, one thing I thought we can do is wait, hang on. Mm, how many of you follow my Discord channel? Let's see. Hold on. View, exit full screen. All right. Do you follow my Discord channel? So there's one thing, your Discord is kind of dead. I know. So I was going through my Discord today. I mean, actually, somebody told me to start a Reddit page, and I thought, sure, that'll be fun. But then I thought, why start a Reddit page when I have a Discord channel already? And this is what I want to do. And so I'll tell you the problem that I was facing with Discord. It was that the whole purpose of me starting a Discord channel was that once the conversation is going on here while I'm live streaming, once I'm done with live streaming, the people in the chat, if they wanted to continue the conversation, there was no space for them to continue. So Discord was for that. That was it. And of course, we were able to do some streams there. We were able to have a gaming tournament and all of that. But one of the problems that I faced in Discord was that if I wasn't going there personally, not a lot was happening, although some things were happening. There's a very, very cool meditation thing that happens there every day, which is pretty awesome. I've attended it a couple of times. Um, and there was a lot of things that happened on Discord at the time. But gradually, I think the the interest also kept dropping, and I felt really bad about that. Uh, but one thing I did realize was that I was not able to take out that much time for it. So, right now, what I think we can do is I want to use Discord as a way for people to share links that we can discuss on stream. That is the first thing I want to do in a way to restart my involvement in my Discord channel. If that makes sense. So on my Discord page, I've started a back to basics section, so you can go check it out. And in that back to basics section, there is a news articles column, like a voice channel, like a text channel. So one thing I would like you guys to do, whoever is interested, is whenever you're surfing the net and you come across any interesting topic or any interesting article, something along neuroscience or behavior or personal growth, something like that, then you could share it there. I was thinking of Reddit as well, but you tell me. I didn't want to split it. Like I didn't want to split the audience. That was the only thing. I'm going to try it on Discord for a while. I'm not going to start a Reddit page because I don't want to make the same mistake again. I don't want to split the audience and I don't want to split my own attention. So let's keep it on Discord. I hope that all most of you are on Discord. And if you are, then try it out. Try sharing that, because then in the next Back to Basics stream, I'm going to open the Discord page, show it over here, and we can do we can just do review of uh, interesting research articles or interesting newspaper articles that have something fun to say. It could be anything. It could be something like technological. It could be about Neuralink. It could be about space travel. It could be anything interesting that even I would like. We could talk about it. All right. If someone has lifelong depression, do they have risk of early dementia or any other mental health issue? It does actually. It does increase the risk of dementia. The only thing is that it is reversible if treated early. So chronic depression, if it is untreated, can lead to dementia. So it is one of the differential diagnoses. So when somebody comes with dementia, they teach you to always rule out depression and not directly call it Alzheimer's. Teenager is asking, how do you remain healthy in the spiritual health when you don't believe in God or universe? So there is no, it is such an inverse question. Your spiritual health is basically your relationship with the universe. So when I say relationship with the universe, you are automatically saying that, of course, you believe in the universe. There is nothing like disbelieving in the universe. God is a placeholder for all the things that you don't understand about the universe. That is it. That is what God is. Everything that you understand about the universe falls under science, and everything that you don't understand about the universe, you need a word for it, right? You need a word for it. You need God. That is my personal take on this. Of course, everybody is free to believe in whatever they want to believe in, but my personal take on this is that God is a placeholder for all the things that you don't know. And chances are that you don't know most of it, right? Because you don't know how much you don't know. So God is a very, very useful word, a very, very useful concept for everything that you don't know. Now, what is your relationship with the unknown? Whenever you hear the question, do you believe in God? What you should be hearing is, what is your relationship with things you don't know? Are you afraid of it? Are you going to pray to it? Are you going to worship it? Are you going to be curious about it? What is it? Are you going to ignore it? What is it? What is your relationship with the unknown? So, in a way, I completely understand why religion and faith and all of that came about, because when you are dealing with the unknown, you need some language, some way of interacting with all the things that you don't know. Now, for me personally, I couldn't find my spiritual health in that way. I did try at one point, but then I think my own journey has been towards coming to a place where I am at peace with not knowing certain things, which is okay. I would rather not know than uh, hold belief systems that are not compatible with other things that I believe in, if that makes sense. So I'm more comfortable. I'm not very comfortable with incongruity. So when things don't go together, then one of them has to go. So, oh, is there a lag? The same consciousness is in all, nobody is different. Rohit Datta. Well, that is true. The same consciousness is in all. To say that nobody is different is not really true, because you could say that people are 99.9999999% similar, but that doesn't mean it's the same, because all that we are seeing is the difference. Because we are so similar, our brain has tuned itself to block out all the similarities and only the differences will pop up. That's the way the brain functions. Everything that you see, if it's in a color of gray, then how will you drive? Right? Our brain is wired to look at contrasts, it look at differences. So we are only spotting differences in our environment also. When you are looking at the world, if you will notice that you are only spotting lines. When you are driving, you will only spot the outline of the buildings. Nothing in the middle is popping out because it's all the same color. So similarly, even if 99.99% is the same, if that 1% on the, or the 0.001% on the edge is different, that is what you will spot. So people are different. Oh, okay. Uh, Broken tooth. Sid doesn't check my designs. Oh, damn. What do you mean, Sid? Wait, Broken Tooth. Did you send me a design for Synapse? Because I did see that, but I'm sorry I didn't get time to respond. Uh, I think she needs a special. How to get rid of childhood bad memories of someone else. My elder brother is suffering from his own childhood memories. I'm sorry to hear that, Kalpesh, and I think, yeah, it would help him probably to see a therapist. Okay. How to convince your parents that you don't aim for greatness and being rich, you just want a low-key happy life when you are an overachiever. Well, uh, the only thing I can say for that is, it's uh, I think we find it most difficult to convince ourselves more than anybody. Because if it's something that you are 100% sure of, then you'll find it very easy to convince anybody. I don't know, you tell me, you think you found a new friend. Can you give me positive effects of having a good mental health? It's honest work. What's your opinion on Hindu scriptures? What's my opinion on Hindu scriptures? Uh, my opinion on all scriptures sort of come from the same place, that considering the time in which they were written, I think that people have spent a lot of time pondering over the most basic of human experiences. Because some things are common, whether it is 2021 or whether it is 1900 or it is 1200 BC, some things don't change, which is basically the human brain. Everything else has changed in the world, but the human brain doesn't change. So those experiences of fear, anger, love, jealousy, rage, all of those things, they won't change. So this question of why are we here? What is our purpose? What should we do? Why is this happening? The sense of curiosity, the sense of fear of why is my friend dying? Why is my mother dying? What can I do to help her? These emotions have always been the same since the prefrontal cortex has evolved. So I think that at a time when these questions were probably very, 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 very important, and there were people who spent a lot of time really thinking about all these things, and they came up with certain um, constructs, they came up with certain hypotheses, and they wrote about it. And I think that is what the scriptures are basically. And I think you should take them like that. I don't think you should take them as absolute truths, but I do think you should not dismiss them either, because they are talking about things that are still relevant. When, for example, if the Bhagavad Gita or the Quran talks about what someone should do when they are angry, for example, how is that any different today? If you are an employee and your colleague has done something to annoy you, how you deal with that anger is still relevant. So there is a chance that whatever has been written 2000 years ago, it could have something, right? It could have something useful, which is not the case with, um, well, I would say technology. for example, or uh, food preservation techniques, for example. You you should always look at your history. You should always look at your past to see if something is useful or not. But the chances are that as technology advances, older technology gets less and less relevant. But because the brain hasn't really changed much, everything that has ever been written about human behavior will always be relevant. All right. That the brain doesn't change. No, not really. The brain doesn't change. Only the software changes, only the constructs change. So the idea of India didn't exist 50,000 years ago, but the idea of parent and child existed 50,000 years ago, right? So India is a construct that we have all created in recent years, but the emotion of anger has existed even in animals. So that's what I mean, that the hardware hasn't changed much in the brain. Vijay, my mother developed being benign tumor in the brain. Is brain surgery a safer option? Oh, about post-surgery complications. Vijay, I'm sorry to hear that, but this is absolutely up to the treating doctor, because he or she is in the best place to take that call, you know, because it depends on a lot of factors. It depends on the size of the tumor, the where is the tumor, all of those things are taken into account. So I'm very sorry that this has happened, but you should talk to your treating doctor in order to take that call. Emphasis on each personal aspects, improving them, journaling every day, and planning helps. Oh, absolutely. Okay. Mm, neuroplasticity. Broken tooth. Curious to know neuroscience of steroids. Oof. Neuroscience of steroids actually goes into pharmacology. Like you have to go into the chemical structure of steroids and figuring out how it affects neural networks, how it affects synaptic transmission. I don't think you guys would be, not everybody would be interested in that, because it's crazy how quickly it can go from interesting to what the fuck? What are you talking about? Because as soon as you go into the molecular structure, it loses its relevance to the everyday conversation. So some people will be interested, but not everyone. What is your aha moment for neuroscience? My aha moment for neuroscience was when I first understood how music works. That was that was my first aha moment. My next one was when I realized how vision works. I had a project in my DM neurology residency when I had to write about the occipital lobe. And I spent almost a month reading about the occipital lobe. And that was my aha moment when I realized it is so complex. Our vision, the things that we see, the way we say, the way we see things, it is so complex. There is so much going on in order for you to see, and we take it for granted. We just don't know how we see. So you don't know how are you seeing the screen. You don't know how are you seeing my hand waving. All you know is that you are seeing it. But there are like a billion things going on in your brain in order for you to see me. And that is fascinating to me, that so many things are going on and we just shrug it off. We're like, theek hai, whatever. So that I think that's why I like neuroscience, because I believe that if the most simple of things have such complex roots, then I believe that understanding that complexity will help you understand most of the things that we are calling complex in our everyday life. Like almost ironically, if you understand the complexity of simple things, then you'll understand the simplicity of complex things. I should probably write that down. If you understand the complexity of simple things, then you will understand the simplicity of complex things. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what neuroscience is, I think. Like if you understand how complex it is for you to see a photo, then you will know how simple it is for you to analyze your life and all the decisions that you take. Akshita, I had an oh my god moment when I saw you stream for the first time with Abhish and Tanmay. I ironically hated the stream, hated the diagram of the human brain. I had an appointment yesterday, waited for 3 hours, did not appoint, still pending on health plex. Oh, health. Oh, damn. Maya Basu, I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to get a I'm supposed to get a message if that happens. Hang on. So, Maya, I'll do one thing. I'm going to check after the stream. I'm going to check and I'm going to send you a text message, okay? And we'll schedule another appointment tomorrow morning. Did you enjoy the NLP book? Was it knowledgeable? I haven't finished it yet, actually. But it is the part of the book that talked about eye movement was extremely interesting. Very interesting. When is the next workshop? I'm going to keep it first week of August, and I'm going to keep it on neuromarketing. How many of you would be interested in that? I'm still tentatively thinking about it, and I will market this one much more. I'll be putting it up in all the platforms, but I've been reading about neuromarketing and just the idea of how to sell yourself and how to sell anything basically. That's what I'll be that's what I'll be doing this on. Next Wednesday, I'm going to have Neelkant on. So Neelkant is the world's, I think he won an award for the fastest human calculator, and he was recently on Biswa's stream. So I'm going to have him on this Wednesday for my podcast. Do you know about Dr. K? Yes, I do. I do actually. I was looking at his streams and I think it's very interesting. I might reach out to him and let's see if we can do something there. I don't know how to reach out to him though. I'll see if I can find a contact, or if any of you know about him or know a contact, then let me know. I would enroll in all your workshops. Thank you, Nishan. Thank you so much. Uh, so recently I've been doing this thing where I do corporate talks, and that is a whole other level of interesting. I did one with Ubisoft. I talked to them about gaming, and they are gaming developers, right? Like they made Assassin's Creed, and it was super interesting just hearing about how they make games and me telling them, okay, so when you do this, this is what happens in the brain. So when you make the character jump like this, or when you make the shadows move like this is how the brain is interpreting. So we actually had a back and forth conversation. It was very, very fun. Ubisoft Pune. Yes, Ubisoft Pune. It was an online talk, of course. I wish it was an offline one. I really do. I would have loved to actually go there and give the talk at their office and see them see the game development happening. But unfortunately, because of the pandemic, I couldn't. So it was an online talk. What is your favorite game and why is it Witcher? It is so beautiful. Yeah, The Witcher is so beautiful. Although I'm Kshitij, yes, the stream will be available for everyone. I'm playing It Takes Two right now with my wife, and it is really fun. पुणे में समय से भी मिलते हैं. Yeah, I wasn't in Pune, dude. I was in Mumbai. It was an online call. Mm, neuroscience behind self-destruction. Well, self-destruction is I now realize self-destruction is an inherent part of growth, because until you cross the line, how do you know there is a line? That is what self-destruction is. You want to keep pushing the line, you want to keep stepping over that line in order to see how far you can go, until where you can go. The only thing is you need to kind of accept uh, when to step back. Oh, Smridzi is here. So guys, I don't know if I've introduced my wife to you guys, but that's Smridzi. Her real name is Smriti, and I'm glad she's in the chat. I just made her a mod because I thought that she deserves it. So everybody say hi. Which region of the brain do you have personal bias for, if any? My guess is the PFC. Oh yeah, of course. But my personal bias is for this area called as the anterior cingulate cortex. It's the ACC. And that's the part that deals with conflict. And conflict is personally my favorite concept in the brain. All right. Okay. So we're going to wrap up today. We are going to wrap up today. We will, I'll have a stream now, I think probably directly on Wednesday. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday night. I'm going to have a podcast stream, and at the end of the week, I'll have something else interesting. So on Friday night, we'll stream again, and it'll be something fun. I'm not going to ruin the surprise, but I'll see you all soon. Remember to join the Discord. The link is there both in the description, and I think Waldy had shared it. Remember to join it and start sharing any interesting links that you can find under the Back to Basics channel. And I'm going to have a look at it before the next stream, and I'll share the screen and we can have a conversation on any of the links that you are sharing. Okay. Later on, I'm going to separate the channel into tech links and neurology links and all of that. But right now, just share it on that channel. If it works, great. Otherwise, I'll start a Reddit page. But I think this will be. I want to start. I don't want to wait. I don't want to let my Discord die, like somebody said. So that's what we're gonna do. There is a lot more to talk about mental health. We haven't. I mean, I think we've just scratched the surface. But something just told me that I should definitely do this stream and just talk about this. I'm waiting for neuromarketing too, Saket. So we'll have it on first week, probably first or second week of August. So I'm gonna see you guys for that. All right. Chalo guys. See you. Good night. There's no reason to hurry.